welcome to the PLot Malaysia. This is a special Man United episode. This is the show for the fans. By the fans. Yeah. Who's sitting with me today is we have a special guest all the way from Singapore, our noisy neighbors, but we wear the same color today, in Manchester, of course. So let's welcome Mr. Paras. Woohoo!
So, Ram, good to have you. Good to see you. Thanks for inviting me to the show.
No problem at all, man. So happy to have you on, man. It's been so long since we've last spoken to each other. Of course, been so busy, but we've also been in the FIFA group as well. So, guys, we are both, we play FIFA a lot, and of course, during the lockdown in our respective countries, that's what we used to do to keep our sanity. I would say, don't you think so, Paris?
Correct. And to keep everyone entertained, and it actually led to a lot of people forming friendships, and I thought that was a great idea. And yeah, it was fun. We had what, 4 or 5 seasons now? 6?
Yep. I think now it's going on to 8. I think 8 seasons already.
Oh, wow. I have quit FIFA, not because of the league or anything, but just because of work got in the way. But yeah, it was very, very fun. We had some very memorable matches.
Yep. We used to stay up till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. We used to play, remember?
We used to train each other to play against the more talented people in the group. Remember, Ram?
Oh, yes. Paras would be the guy, who probably discovers some new skill, and he'd be like, Ram, okay, this is what you got to do. And I used to be like on a tutorial with Paras, and he used to teach me exactly what to do. Yeah, guys, I'm quite bad in FIFA, okay? Paras is way better than I am.
You kicking my ass a couple of times, so yes, don't be humble, my friend.
Maybe a couple of times. The rest 10 times he kicked my ass. So anyway, so Paras, in respect to Man United's transfer market or business that's going on at the moment, how do you feel, man? Tell us.
It's very rare to see a good transfer window from United. I feel like we always mess up, or we get players. We always aim for the sky, and we settle for someone who's not quite there. The last transfer windows have been quite disappointing, to be honest. And the feeling is that we overpaid for a lot of players. We paid 80 million for Maguire, who is good, but not quite worth 80 million. That's just for those who aren't in the know. That's $10 million more than Van Dijk, which is ridiculous because Van Dijk is a class above Maguire. Let's be honest. I am not a Liverpool fan, but credit where credit is due. We also pay. But we did have some good, decent signings, but no marquee players. And this season, it seems like we are well ahead of the competition in terms of signing good top tier players who can take us to the next level of competing for Champions League and the league title, which is where we want to be, which is where a club of our stature should be.
Absolutely.
Only making the right moves.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of argument, of course, now with Varane and Sancho in our team. Of course, with Varane pending a medical, but it's inevitable. He is a United player now. It's just all about finalizing the fine details. But as you know, with both of them in the squad, it's going to be it's going to be inexcusable for Ole to say that he's not going to go for the title. And if he doesn't win the title, it's probably the end of the road for him. What do you think?
I think, look, as long as we are there or thereabouts, I don't mind if we win second, but it can't be that we're 20 points behind Man City or 30 points behind Liverpool again. That is inexcusable. As long as we're there challenging for a title, even if we don't win it, at least you can say that there's been improvement in the squad. And I'm quite excited to see how Ole will line up these players because, man for man, we've got as good a squad as anyone, maybe apart from Man City. We've got as good a squad as any team in the league, I feel.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100% on that, Paris. I'm so excited for the season to start. I just can't wait, to see our new additions, performing, running down the wings, Sancho running down the wings, and then Varane, saving us in defense. But on the other side of things, Paris,
Yeah.
what do you think about Paul Pogba? Do you think he's going to stay? Do you think he's going to leave? What's going to happen?
Okay, I think Pogba is one of those players that was always talking about leaving when things weren't going well.
Hmm.
Because Pogba's not the kind of player that you can have as the only guy in the team who's performing. Because
Yep.
he gets frustrated very easily. He's still young, you see, he gets annoyed, irritated.
Yep.
Pogba, I feel, performs better when he has world-class players around him,
Mhm.
especially a defensive midfielder. Like you see the way he performs for France, it's a completely different player.
Yep.
That's because he has N'Golo Kante doing all the running, the dog work. Kante
Yep.
just does all that. He doesn't have that at United. He has Fred, who is box to box, and he has had a good season last season, but still not world class. You wouldn't
Yep.
rank him up there.
Mhm.
You've got McTominay, which again, decent, not great, not
Mhm.
fantastic. And you have Matic, who is well past his prime now. He
Yep.
can't, he won't be starting every game. So but you can't build a team around Pogba. But I think Pogba, having seen that all these players are coming, having seen the title ambitions, I think he will stay. But even
Mhm.
if he doesn't, I don't think it's going to be a massive loss to the team, given the players we have. Of course, you want to see the best players playing at United.
Yep.
Um, that being said, we still need one or two. We still need strengthening in one or two positions if we are to be truly world class. I feel.
Oh, that's a good point there. I mean, I do agree with you that should be some position we should strengthen. So go first, Paris. Who do you think could be the next? So, guys, we're gonna do this so-called speculation. We're gonna totally speculate who's next, who's Solskjaer. So we're gonna try to read Solskjaer's mind over here. So I'm gonna give the floor to Paris. Paris, go ahead. Who do you think is
Okay.
coming in next?
I think the most important position we need to strengthen. I don't know if there's any transfer targets in this position that we're going for, but we should is defensive mid. I've already
Yes,
mentioned three players who play defensive mid for us. None of them are going to cut it, lah,
I
especially
agree.
against the better attacks. So we need a good defensive mid. The problem is that that's the kind of position that is very difficult to find class players at defensive mid who are willing to move.
Yep.
You can find good players, but those players are entrenched in the club. Kante, for example. The one transfer target that has got me quite excited in that position is Declan Rice. He had a very
Yes.
good World Cup. He had a very good season last season at West Ham. He covers every blade of grass, and he will free up. He'll allow Pogba and Fernandes to do their thing, and he can just sweep up at the back and protect the defense. And you need that kind of player in the team. The rest of
Okay.
the DMs, the world class DMs, are either too entrenched or too old. So players like Kante, players like, for example, Fernandinho, Rodri, they are either too entrenched in their club, and their club will never sell them, or they are just too old and getting past their prime, and it's not something that United should be looking at.
I agree. I agree that United should not be spending so much money in terms of that position, but Declan Rice seems to have a very, very heavy price tag. For his caliber, I'm pretty sure that there could be some other players in the market. Maybe you're looking at Sal Niguez. I was thinking of
Yeah,
Sal Niguez.
yeah,
I also thought of Bisuma.
yeah.
you know,
I mean, there's also Eduardo Camavinga, which we've been
Kamavinga.
linked.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, he would be exciting, but I don't know how. I'll be very frank with you. I have not watched him play,
Yeah,
and I
me
don't
too.
know how good he is. But he comes with a lot of hype. So he's
Yeah.
one of those players that only those scouts will get very excited about. Which if we get and he turns out to be a good signing, then great. But we've had too many bad signings over the years. I mean, you look at last season, James was terrible. I mean, he can run. The man can run, but he has no has no sense in the last third. Like he gets too
He can't.
excited. He's got no.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. I mean, watching him running down the wing, it's nice, but until he gets to cross the ball in or to make something of the ball, it's disappointing at the end of the day. Um, Absolutely. I'm gonna just maybe I'm just gonna name a few players. Is that okay with you,
Yeah,
Paris? We'll name a few
yeah,
players,
absolutely.
and you tell me, okay, whether it's a go or a no go. Shall we do that? Okay, I'm just gonna name
Yes,
just three
let's do it.
players. Okay,
Let's do it.
okay. So my first player on the list is Leon Goretzka, of course, of Bayern Munich. What do you think?
Uh, I mean, I like Leon Goretzka, but for me, it's a no-go.
No go.
Ooh, no-go, no-go. How old is he?
I think
How
he's
old
in
is
that I think 24, 25. I think, if I'm not mistaken. It should be about there, I think. Yeah.
he?
Leon
No, no, no,
Goretzka.
no. I mean, look, he's okay, but not, again, he doesn't get me excited. Like, it doesn't get
Okay.
me off my chair.
Okay. All right. So no
It's a
go.
very comfortable chair, in case you're wondering, yeah.
Okay. So no go Leon Goretzka. No problem. Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned Declan Rice earlier, so I'm going to skip that one. Probably it's a go because you would want to see him at United. So I think if he can come to United, it would be like a go as well for me.
Yes.
What about Bissouma?
Bissouma is a go.
Go. I mean,
Yeah, I
yeah,
like
probably wouldn't
Bissouma.
cost as much, right? I mean, it's
No,
quite decent. Yeah.
I think,
Uh,
if I'm not wrong, I think Goretzka will be on a free transfer, right?
he should be on
Or
a free
he will be.
transfer.
Yeah, then if that's the case, then yes, go. If the price is right, go. It's a
Okay.
very Cindy mentality. I'm sorry, but
Okay, no problem. Next one, Mr. Ruben Neves from Wolves.
uh, I mean, Ruben Neves is good, exciting, covers again, like runs everywhere, covers every blade of grass. Plus, he's got Premier League experience.
Hmm.
He's been playing for Wolves, and he's been one of the standout stars for Wolves in that the fantastic season where they finished in the top half of the table. He would be a go for me. He'd
Go
be
for
a go.
you.
Look, any one of these players that you've mentioned, if we get them, good enough for me.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a go for me as well. But we do know Esperanto Santo leaving Wolves and going into Spurs. I just have the
Yes.
sneaky feeling that fella might just pull this hat out of the bag
Follow him.
and bring him to Spurs. you know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
hopefully,
Yeah. Absolutely.
hopefully we can snap him up. I think he's a good signing as well. The next one I have is Calvin Phillips from Leeds. He had a good Euros though, for England. So
He had a fantastic Euros. But I he was. I think Declan Rice made him look a lot better than he is.
actually,
He had a fantastic
okay.
Euros, especially the first game. But after a while, you saw sort of like he was playing second fiddle to Declan. So I'm gonna go with no go.
Okay.
But I'll put the caveat that he's still better than anyone else we have at the moment. So if we
Yep.
if you go through that list that you just mentioned and no one else wants to sign him up.
Better than McFred and McSauce, as they say.
McTominay, Fred. I mean, I love them. I love them, but they're not first team starters.
Yeah.
They'll be good subs. Van de Beek has not played a single game, but he plays more attacking.
Hmm.
I mean, he's just been 50 million worth wasted down the
Yeah.
drain. But
Yeah.
50 million, right? I think
50
we
million.
signed
Yeah.
him
50
for
million. Yep.
waste of money.
Do you think Paris, if let's say United decide that they are not going to fill up that gap, they don't get a chance to fill up that gap, do you think Van der Beek could possibly perform better than McFred? If he was given that job to be a holding midfielder.
No, that's not his position. He's an attacking mid. He's a box to box. He is not defensive minded. He doesn't have that positional discipline.
Okay.
Unfortunately for him, he plays in the same position as Bruno and Pogba,
Yeah.
and he cannot. I mean, he can't even displace them from the squad. You cannot play him in a position that he's not used to. I
I
think it's a
totally agree.
waste.
I totally agree with you, but I just have this slight feeling, Paris. I don't know if you agree with me. I just have this slight feeling that sometimes, this kind of players like When the Big, for example, they can be attacking, but I think
Yeah,
I think Sokja might have some big plans for him. Not necessarily being an attacking midfielder, to be honest. I think
yeah,
possibly there could be a chance that he might, ask When the Big to hold back a little bit, because honestly speaking, right, Paris, when I look at Fred. I love the way he defends the ball. I love the way he wins the ball, but he does nothing
yeah.
with the ball. you
No,
know, he does nothing with the ball. So that's the thing. And for me, if you can have Van der Beek there, possibly a good passer of the ball taking over, I think for a short stint, maybe some developments could
yeah.
arise, something good could happen.
The
So
problem is his natural instinct is to attack. Van de
yeah,
Beek. It's his natural instinct is to carry the ball forward, attack. And when you
yeah,
lose the ball, then there's no one at the back.
yeah,
You leave your defense exposed. You need someone who has the discipline to sit back.
yep,
Jorginho, Kante, all these world class DMs, Casemiro,
mhm,
they sit back. All they do is they want nothing to do with the attacking play. They get the pass, they pass it like 5 yards. They pass it 5 yards here, 5 yards there. Just make sure the other side doesn't get the ball. And when they need to make a professional foul, they do. That takes years and years of like practice and tactical know-how and intelligence. You
mhm,
can't teach that in half a season and off season to Van de Beek.
yep,
He's
yep.
just my kind of player. He's
Mhm.
also, I think he's going to be a squad player.
The
He's going to
first team.
be coming up from the subs bench a lot.
Yep,
He's
yep.
not going to be first team. I don't think the
My
plan
only
for
my
that.
only hope for him is that he gets to play some games, as compared to last season. I just feel so sorry for him, that he's not getting any much game time. So I do hope that he gets a chance. My next player
Yeah.
I'm going to mention, Paris, because you mentioned you need
Yes.
someone who is a good, of course, a good, like some sort of a Kante caliber, Casemiro, and
Yeah.
so on. What do you think about Ndidi?
Wilfred, sorry, and Didi,
Yeah.
19. Well, he's 25 years old. He's a good player for Leicester. He
Yep.
comes in and he kills teams attacking play. He's smart. I
Hmm.
like him. I like him. And
Yeah.
Leicester is one of those teams that just play with their hearts on their sleeves, lah. So you we
Yep.
we at Man United appreciate that kind of players. Where like if you look at it back in the day, Tevez
Hmm.
barely scored a goal, but he was running all over the pitch, and the fans appreciated that. And we
Yep.
we will appreciate a player like Ndidi who does the exact same thing. But
Yep.
why would Leicester let him go? I don't think they will want to, right? I mean,
Yep.
they yeah, unless they find a good replacement for him. I doubt that Leicester will want to let him go.
Of course, of course. Even I think so. It's going to be hard, but I personally feel if we do get NDD, or we can even make a bid and get him, I think we are in with a shout. At least that position is actually covered, and much better than Fred and McTominay any day, and
Yeah,
would give them some sort of competition as well.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, I think yeah, I already mentioned Sal Niguez, so
yeah,
I think that's basically my list that I have. Any players that you think
yeah,
I missed or should have added into that list, or do you have anyone that you wanna add in particular? Could be any position, anywhere. Do you think?
yeah. I mean, look, the rumors are, and I've
Yeah,
read it
yeah.
somewhere, all these places, that we are going to replace Martial with Harlan. And that actually got me very excited because see, attack we have Cavani, who's fantastic.
Yep,
But then after Cavani, you've got Martial, who's very inconsistent.
yep,
You've got Rashford, who's very inconsistent.
yep.
And you've got Greenwood, who is fantastic, but Solskjaer prefers to play him on the start off on the right wing first.
Correct.
Um, I mean, Greenwood is one for the future, but I think Harlan would be very, very exciting, especially because he's played one full season with Sancho,
Mm,
and those two have gelled very, very well together. The runs that they make, they are basically reading each other. It's almost telepathic. So if they manage to get Harlan, because he was a transfer target before he moved to Dortmund,
Dortmund. Yeah.
uh, and pity we didn't get him then.
Mm,
But if we get it now, that would be fantastic. We can give them Martial. I mean, he has been too inconsistent for me, and
mm,
he's not lived up to his potential. You know, he's just too bad for me. Yeah.
Well,
Even
it would be
Rashford. Sorry,
it
go on.
would it would be a dream if we can get Harlan, Paris, I would be like, whoa, well done, United, but I don't think Borussia Dortmund is going to sell him after they sold Sancho to us. I don't think Dortmund is going to let him go, at least not for another season.
I mean, the good
That's
thing
what I
about
think.
Dortmund is they are a selling club. If you give them
Mm,
the right price, they will sell. They are not. They are transfers. I mean, their investment strategy is we buy our players cheap, we'll sell them at like a mad price.
mm.
Um, they bought Sancho for 10 million from City,
Yep, yep,
and all those years ago, 4 years I think ago, and
yep,
they've sold him for 3 million. That's a
yep,
fantastic bit of business.
yep.
If we offer a mad deal plus Martial, I think it could go through. I mean, the problem is we don't have a world class striker. You've got Cavani, but below that you don't have someone who is world class who will finish every chance.
Yeah,
Greenwood will get there, but he's not there yet.
yep.
Martial, Rashford, yeah, too inconsistent for me. Too
I get what you're
inconsistent.
saying. We need someone like a Van Nistelrooy, Van Persie, a Wayne Rooney, sort of a
Lewandowski,
striker. Yep,
yeah,
yep. Lewandowski, kind of a striker. I totally get you, man. I totally agree with you on that. I think
yeah.
if we can fill up that spot, of course, obviously, we. I think we should not just be title contenders. We should we should just say 21 is coming. 21 is coming.
I mean,
you know.
don't be surprised if Man City, because they are strengthening. They are looking to strengthen with Kane and Grealish, so they'll
Yeah.
still be a very very strong squad if they get those two players.
Yeah, Kane for 160 million. Ooh, a bit steep. But they have the money anyway, so you know.
Plus Grealish. I mean, yeah, the problem is English players always get overhyped in England, and you have
Mm,
to pay like a complete premium for players like that. So I mean, you look at Maguire. How much do we pay for the guy? Not
80
worth
million.
it at all. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was always the kind of guy that never liked Maguire from day one. Okay,
Yeah.
I never liked the fact that they paid so much for him. No doubt he had a good Euros. Obviously, he did improve. As the season went along last season. I think with the addition of Varane coming in, it will make Maguire a better player. I feel that way,
I
and
think so. I think Varane's going to take Lindelof's place, and I think
definitely.
Sancho will at least at the start of the season start on the left wing because Rashford is still injured or maybe going for an operation if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
Some
shoulder operation. Yeah, yep,
So if he's
absolutely.
out, then Sancho can start on the left, Greenwood on the right, and on top will
Mm,
be Cavani and Martial.
mm,
But again, when Martial plays, you never know what you're going to get.
yeah.
The man is very very it's a mixed bag with him all the
Mood
time.
swings, mood swings.
Yep.
Whenever he can actually perform, he'll play well. Otherwise, he'll just be like shooting bricks. Uh,
Yeah. But when he performs, no one can touch him.
yep.
Yeah.
Uh, I just wanted to talk about, since we talked about the incomings. Of course, we have Rafael Varane, we have Sancho in now. We also covered, some of the speculation or the people that we thought could be a possibility in the next, who could be next in line coming into the club. So before we end today's episode, Paris, and I want to say thank you once again for joining us. Um,
No worries.
what do you think about those outgoings now? Who Okay, in my opinion, I think I have Matic, possibly Pogba, Lingard, probably the list of people that I think would leave the club. Do you have anyone else that you could think about? Anyone that I've
I,
mentioned, do you think?
yeah, I think not could leave, but may want to consider leaving or retiring.
Okay.
Mata, I feel he's become a squad player and he's experienced, but I don't think he can expect to play in the big games.
Yep.
Matic, like you mentioned, I think one of Fred or McTominay should go if a defensive midfielder comes in.
Hmm.
Lindelof and what's his name? Bailly. One of them
Bye.
might want to reconsider
Yep.
because now they have four centre backs.
Phil
And
Jones is still there.
is he? Oh my God! Sell the man. Sell
You
him
know,
already. I thought. Oh,
no,
it was on loan to Roma. Is it?
yeah, that was
Phil
Smalling who
Jones.
left, and Smalling was in Roma, but Phil Jones is contracted with United until 2023. Okay, and United are still paying his wages.
God.
And you know, if okay, let me ask you this: if you are Phil Jones, okay, let's say if you are Phil Jones, you're injury prone, you're not getting any game time, but you're getting paid a hefty amount of salary at
Yeah.
United. What would you do? You know, what would you do?
Yeah. I mean, he would stay, but I think Man United will be ushering him out and saying, "Look, you can get look. Phil Jones is good enough to start in a lot of teams. He's
Mm-hmm.
just not good enough to start in Man United. So he can. He would even Premier League teams. You look at he's been linked to like Southampton, Newcastle, etc. And he's good enough to start there, just not at Man United.
Okay.
And if I were him, he's what 30 around
Yeah,
there.
yeah, it's about that. Yeah, yep,
Yeah, I mean, he's still got a good 4 or 5 years left in him.
yep.
As long as you see, if he agrees to go on a free, if United want to sell him on a free, he can demand more wages from all these other clubs also.
Yeah, I think it's
You
to
know,
get him out of the wage bill, right? I mean, United should be taking out the
it would
wage
win
bill.
that.
Yeah, I think it's not
It's
so
a
much
win-win
about
for
selling him
everyone.
for the right price. It's just about getting him out of that payroll so that somebody else can take
Yeah,
that responsibility. Yep,
yeah.
absolutely.
I think James might also want to consider leaving because he's just not performed. I mean,
Hmm.
he came in with a lot of hype, but he's just been very, very under par. He was given a few starts. I think his first game he scored a fantastic goal. Since
Yep.
then he's not lived up to the hype.
Hmm.
Martial, if we get a good deal for him, he should consider leaving.
Hmm.
Um, but I think look, you've got Greenwood, you've got a couple of good players coming through the ranks, coming through our youth squad as well. You've got Rashford on the wings, you've got Greenwood on the wings, you've got now Sancho on the wings.
Yep.
Uh, if you get a striker, where are Martial and James then?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not even in rotation. So they might want to consider leaving. But actually, Lingard is a very funny topic because he was shit for us for years and years, and
Yeah.
then he was sensational. We loaned him to
West Ham.
West Ham, and he
Hmm.
was sensational for them.
Yep.
And even in preseason, he's been scoring goal after goal after goal. And the man is, yeah. Look, it might well be that he's grown up at West Ham because before he left, he was childish. He was always
Yep.
like joking around, but never serious. And you always felt like there was more potential to this guy, but he's just
Yep.
gonna waste it away because he's too idiotic, for want
Hmm.
of a better word.
Yep.
Now you
Yep.
feel like maybe he has grown up, maybe he will reach his potential. So I think Solskjaer will give him a few games just on the basis of his preseason form and also the fact that all the players coming back from Euro, especially those who made it to the final, will be tired. The England players. You might see him get a few games, and then it's up to him whether he sinks or swims.
Okay, so you think that Lingard will? I mean, you think that Ole will have some plans for him this season?
Yeah,
So he will be remaining as a United player this season. Is that what you're saying, Paris?
I think so. I think he will
Okay,
start off as a United player. Unless we get a ridiculous bid for him, we will take it.
great. I totally understand. I mean, I think you're right, Paris. I think there is a high possibility that he still would stay in Old Trafford, at least for a
Yeah,
season. But I just have this feeling that somehow, okay, this is just me, trying to play psychic. Okay, Paris. I'm just gonna try and see. I'm just gonna try and
sure,
speculate this. Okay, I think.
sure.
Okay, what United are gonna do? Okay, they're gonna try to get Ndidi. Okay,
Yeah,
and they're gonna try to push the deal for Lingard to go to Leicester. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
could possibly happen because I think first and foremost, why am I saying this, Paris? It's not because I don't like Lingard. It's not because I don't think he's a good player.
Yeah.
I think he's a fantastic player since he came back from West Ham. But just because I
Yeah.
love football, I think as a footballer, I mean, he being a footballer, I just want him to have, first team football. And I think Leicester can offer that to him. And if there
Yeah.
could be a deal in the offspring, like maybe and Didi coming over, I think I'll take that
Yeah.
deal in a heartbeat. What about you?
I'll take that deal in a heartbeat too. But I suspect, given how much West Ham fans have fallen in love with Lingard,
Yeah.
the more realistic scenario is Lingard for Declan Rice. I suspect that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, you could
That's
be
a bit of
right
my
too. Yeah, you could
yeah,
be right too. So it's great to have differing opinions, right? You were saying he
yeah,
might go to West Ham with possibly a swap with some add-ons with the Declan Rice. I'm
yeah,
saying possibly with Leicester to get Ndidi over. So
yeah.
two very different opinion, guys. What do you guys think? The viewers out there, what do you think? Leave your comments down below, hit the like button, and of course, subscribe to our channel. And of course, we would love to read your comments, and of course, mention in the next coming shows as well. So interesting discussion, Paris. I think yeah, I think we've covered a lot about the incomings and, of course, speculation, the outgoings. And, of course, yeah, we just wait and see what happens next. Anything you want to add on, Paras, before we end the show today?
Uh, Nothing except for United's going to win the title this season.
Yes, you watch out, you
Famous last
Liverpool
words.
fans. Watch out, you Liverpool fans. Hurry. If you're watching this, I'm sure you are because you have no choice. You have to watch this. Okay. And if you guys are wondering where is Hurry, well, as I said, this is a special Man United episode. And you know what? Paris, what's interesting? We've had this United episode. I think this is the second or third one that we have had.
Yeah,
Because United has been doing phenomenal in the transfer market, and Liverpool has yet, except for Kanate, of course, that they signed earlier,
yeah.
during the transfer window. So that's why Hari is not, active much talking about Liverpool. So that's why we are talking about Man United because we're so happy, that finally, we get to make a mockery out of this Liverpool fans.
Well, this is the top of table episode, guys.
Yeah, absolutely,
Sorry, Harry.
absolutely, absolutely. This is top of the table episode for the top club. There's no room for Liverpool fans over here. you know,
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys. So, Paras, I want to say once again, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Looking
Thank
great
you
with
so
that
much, Ram.
jersey. Looking absolutely great with that jersey. Keep rocking it. And we will definitely invite you back on for some previews in the future. United, Liverpool, we're going to have a good party there because I'm pretty sure we're going to win that game.
Sounds good, bro.
Of
Let's see.
course.
Let's see.
Of course. Of course. All right, guys. So this
All
is
right.
signing off from the Plot Malaysia. Once again, Paras, join me. This is the show for the fans.
And
By the fans. Yeah. Cheers, guys. Cheers. See y'all
see you, bro.
soon.